Scroll through any tech feed right now, and you'll encounter the exact same narrative. Artificial intelligence is wiping out the web development profession. The claim is that coding is dead, and machines are taking every ticket. Look closely at the tools, and it is easy to see why the panic exists. AI models are exceptionally good at producing code-shaped material. Ask for a standard login component or a sleek navigation bar, and you get instantly generated boilerplate syntax alongside a dozen UI options. If a developer's entire value comes from memorizing basic syntax and turning a prompt into a standalone button, their job is in immediate danger. That surface-level implementation is exactly what these models are designed to automate. But writing isolated blocks of code is entirely different from shipping a working digital product. Generating a clean CSS utility class is easy. Understanding the tangled context of why that code needs to exist in a live environment is hard. To see why skilled developers aren't going anywhere, we need to look at what actually happens when AI-generated code collides with real-world business constraints. Let's look at a classic request. A client says, "We just need a simple dashboard." In the initial phase, the AI assistant completely dominates the workflow. It effortlessly tears through the repetitive chores that used to take hours of manual typing. You prompt the assistant, and the dashboard's basic structure snaps together in seconds. It writes the form validation logic and drafts the basic test cases. Finally, the wireframe is painted with CSS styling, giving it polished typography and brand colors. At this specific moment, the AI looks like magic. The screen is filled with a convincing prototype, and the human developer appears entirely unnecessary. Then we hit the invisible roadblocks. Software development is packed with hidden context, the internal organizational rules and specific business logic that a machine cannot naturally see. That simple dashboard actually requires role-based permissions. The sales team needs data exports, while internal users are locked out of sensitive views. Then it attempts connecting to an undocumented legacy database, full of disorganized data nodes the AI hasn't seen. Finally, the legal team requires strict audit logs for every action, and someone from compliance rejects the user flow because one single checkbox is phrased too warmly. The AI generates the feature, but the human developer decides whether that feature breaks the user experience or violates a legal requirement. When a system breaks, the AI has no stake in the outcome. It simply shrugs digitally. Human developers are required because they take ownership and provide the final accountability for what goes live in production. If we plot development tasks on a curve of complexity, the highest volume of work sits in the generic center, standard landing pages and common data forms. Since these are exactly the tasks AI can automate instantly, the economic value of average output is being erased. This creates a squeeze that hits junior developers first. Tasks like fixing a simple layout or writing basic API calls used to be the entry-level path into the industry. Now, those chores are disappearing into the automation floor. To survive, beginners have to build deep fundamentals much earlier. They need to understand browser behavior and debugging well enough to catch the subtle, polished mistakes a machine makes. Without those fundamentals, a developer using AI isn't building software. They are simply copy-pasting flawed code directly into production without the ability to fix it when it breaks. Senior developers face a different reality. Their value is no longer tied to their ability to memorize coding syntax. Syntax is now a commodity. Instead, the role mutates. The senior developer becomes a strategic orchestrator, directing a network of fast, highly literal AI worker nodes to handle the heavy lifting. Their daily job shifts towards protecting the architecture and weighing the long-term consequences of technical choices. They are there to ensure the speed of AI doesn't create a mountain of technical debt. The real shift isn't a simple replacement of humans by algorithms. It is a change in the baseline. A developer who continues to work as a manual code typist is now competing against the infinite speed of a prompt. AI can generate the code in seconds, but it still takes a skilled human to build the right product, for the right people, under the unique constraints of a real